Next, question number 36. In which blood circulation starts and ends in capillaries? Option A, portal system. Option B, arterial system. Option C, capillary system. Option D, lymphatic system. So, correct option is option A, portal system. Portal system is a part of venous circulation which is present between the two groups of capillaries, that is, starts in capillaries and ends in capillaries. The vein which drains blood into organs other than heart is called portal vein. Okay. Next, congestion of lungs in one of the main symptoms in option A, hypotension. Option B, coronary artery disease. Option C, angina. Option D, heart failure. So the correct option is option D, heart failure. Heart failure means the state of heart when it is not pumping blood effectively enough to meet the needs of body. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure because congestion of the lungs is one of the main symptoms of this. Clear? Next, which of the following chamber of heart has the thickest muscular wall? Option A, left auricle. Option B, left ventricle. Option C, right ventricle. Option D, right auricle. So, the human heart is situated in the thorax between the lungs with its apex resting on the diaphragm. It has 4 chambers consisting of 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. The wall of left ventricle is much thicker and muscular than any other chamber because left ventricle contracts much stronger than any other chamber. It pumps oxygenated blood to different body parts. Okay, so the correct answer is option B, left ventricle. Next, the important function of lymph is to option A, transport oxygen to the brain. Option B, transport carbon dioxide to the lungs. Option C, return RBCs to the lymph node. Option D, return interstitial fluid to the blood. So, lymph is a fluid that contains plasma and WBCs. It is characterized by the absence of RBCs, presence of more WBC and insoluble proteins, and it is a part of tissue fluid. Its main function is to return intestinal fluid back to the blood. So, the correct answer is option D. Clear? Next, question number 40. The condition where urea accumulates in blood is option A, Glucosuria. Option B, Uremia. Option C, Ketonuria. Option D, anemia. So, malfunctioning of kidneys can lead to accumulation of urea in blood. A condition is called uremia, which is very harmful and may lead to kidney failure. In such patient, urea can be removed by a process called hemodialysis. Okay, so the correct option is option B, uremia. Next, question number 41. The human kidney, option A, is responsible for the storage of nutrients such as glycogen. Option B concentrates the urine by actively transporting water out of the filtrate. Option C produces more dilute urine when the collection ducts become less permeable to water. And option D responds to antidiuretic hormone by increasing urine output. So, from the distal convoluted tubule, the filtrate enter the collecting tubule where further reabsorption of water takes place. Now, the filtrate become more concentrated, which makes the urine hypertonic. When the collecting duct become less permeable to water, it produces more diluted urine. So, correct option is option C. The human kidney produces more dilute urine when the collection ducts become less permeable to water. Question number 42. Which is not a renal function? Option A, reabsorption. Option B, secretion. Option C, perfusion. Option D, filtration. So, nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidney. The nephron consists of Malpighian corpuscle or renal corpuscle and renal tube. The basic renal functions are reabsorption, secretion and filtration. So, here the correct option is perfusion, which is not a renal function. Okay. Next, question number 43. Pectoral girdle constitute option A, scapula and clavicle. Option B, radius and ulna. Option C, ilium and ischium. Option D, maxilla and mandible. So, pectoral girdle is the bony or cartilaginous structure in vertebrates to which the anterior limb, that is pectoral fin, foreleg or arms, are attached. In mammals, it consists of two dorsal scapula, that is shoulder blade, attached to the backbone, and two ventral clavicle, that is collar bones, attached to the sternum, that is breastbone. Okay, so the correct option is option A, scapula and clavicle. Next, basic unit of muscle contraction is option A, collagen. Option B, sarcomere. Option C, bands. Option D, myofibril. So the correct option is option B, sarcomere. A sarcomere is the basic unit of muscles cross-striated myofibril. Sarcomeres are multi-protein complexes composed of 3 different filament systems. Okay. Next, question number 45. Thermoregulatory center of human body is associated with option A, cerebrum. Option B, cerebellum. Option C, hypothalamus. Option D, medulla oblongata. So, correct option is option C, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of vertebrate brain that is derived from the forebrain and located on the ventral surface below the thalamus and the cerebrum. It works as a control center of autonomic nervous system, body temperature, sweating, hunger, thirst, sleep, fatigue, love, hate, satisfaction, anger, pleasure, metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and water. Okay. Next, question number 46. The reflex arc, which is made up of 2 neurons, is known as option A, monosynaptic reflex arc. Option B, disynaptic reflex arc. Option C, polysynaptic reflex arc. Option D, asynaptic reflex arc. So, a reflex arc is the arrangement of neurons in the pathway that always passes through central nervous system. The axon of one neuron ends on the dendrites of next neurons. Such a junction is called synapsis. Monosynaptic reflex arc has only 2 neurons, that is sensory and motor, which forms one synapse. So, the correct option is option A. Next, question number 47. Which part of the human ear plays no role in hearing as such but in otherwise very much required? Option A, eustachian tube. Option B, organ of Corti. Option C, vestibular apparatus. Option D, ear ossils. So, the inner ear contains a complex system called vestibular apparatus located above the cochlea. It has no role in hearing but is influenced by gravity and movements. Its specific receptors called crista and macula are responsible for maintenance of balance of the body and posture. So the correct option is option C. Next, question number 48. The tract of nerve fibers which connects the cerebral hemisphere is option A corpus luteum, option B corpus callosum, option C cerebral aqueduct, option D foramen magnum. So cerebrum forms the major part of the human brain. A deep cleft divides the cerebrum longitudinally into two halves, that is left and right cerebral hemisphere. The hemispheres are connected by a tract of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. So the correct answer is option B. Next, question number 49. Rods and cones are present in option A iris, option B cornea, option C sclerotic, option D retina. So the correct answer is option D retina. Retina is formed of four layers of cells. First is pigmented epithelium having melanin pigment granules in cytoplasm. Second is layer of photoreceptor having rods and cones. Third, layer of bipolar neuron act as both sensory and conducting neurons. And fourth is retinal ganglion cells which have axons from the optic nerves. Next, question number 50. In nerve fiber, the impulses transmits quickly due to option A myelin sheath, option B nodes of Ranvier, option C both myelin sheath and nodes of Ranvier, option D none of the above. So the correct answer is option A myelin sheath. Three key functions of myelin sheath are protection of nerve fiber, insulation of nerve fiber, and increases the rate of transmission of nerve impulses. And key functions of nodes of Ranvier includes allowing nutrients and waste products to enter or leave the neuron, and allowing nerve impulses to move along the neuron through a process of depolarization and repolarization of the nerve membrane. So the correct answer is option A. Next, question number 51. In human, which side of cerebral hemisphere recognize the faces of friends and family members? Option A left cerebral hemisphere, option B right cerebral hemisphere, option C both left and right cerebral hemisphere, and option D none of the above. So the function of left hemisphere are language, maths and logic. The function of right hemisphere are spatial abilities, face recognition, visual imagery and music. So the correct answer is option B right cerebral hemisphere. Okay. Next, question number 52. The amino acid derivatives among the following hormone is option A insulin, option B epinephrine, option C glucagon, option D testosterone. So on the basis of their chemical nature, insulin, glucagon etc. are peptides hormone, epinephrine is amino acid derivative, and oestradiol, testosterone and progesterone etc. are steroid. So the correct option is option B epinephrine. Next, question number 53. Corpus luteum secretes option A progesterone, option B oestrogen, option C luteinizing hormone, option D follicle stimulating hormone. So corpus luteum is a temporary endocrine gland of ovaries of membrane. In mammal, it develops from a ruptured graphene follicle and produced progesterone hormone. Progesterone is responsible for the maintenance of uterine endometrium until menstruation and also during pregnancy. So the correct answer is progesterone. Okay. Next, question number 54. Melanocytes stimulating hormone MSH is produced by option A anterior pituitary, option B posterior pituitary, Option C, pars intermedium of pituitary. Option D, parathyroid. So the intermediate lobe, pars intermedium of the pituitary gland, secrete MSH, which causes dispersal of pigment granules in the pigment cells, that is melanocytes, which give color to the skin. So the correct answer is option C. Next, question number 55. Which of the following statement is false? Option A, male roundworm is smaller than female. Option B, earthworm are hermaphrodite. Option C, echinoderms are protostomous coelomates. Option D, human teeth are anatomically comparable to scales of shark. So correct answer is option C, echinoderms are protostomous coelomates, which is a false statement. Members of the phylum Echinodermata are also known as echinoderms. These exclusively marine organisms are characterized by radial symmetry and several arms radiating from a central body. The 5 equal segments contain a duplicate set of various internal organs, but they do not have heart, brain or eyes. In fact, the mouth is situated on the underside. There are around 6,000 species of echinoderms and include annelids, arthropods, chordates and mollusks, which are characterized by a true coelom or body cavity. True coelomates can be protostomes or deuterostomes. In protostomes, mouth develops first, whereas in deuterostomes, anus develops first. Member of phylum Chordata, Hemichordata and Echinodermata are deuterostomes. Next, question number 56. Radial symmetry occurs in option A, Porifera and Coelenterata, option B, Coelenterata and Echinodermata, option C, Coelenterata and Platyhelminthes, option D, Arthropoda and Mollusca. Radial symmetry is the regular arrangement of body parts around a central axis. When an organism is radially symmetrical, if one could cut the one side of the organism through the center to the other side anywhere on the organism, then this cut would produce two equal halves. So here the correct answer is Coelenterate and Echinodermata, where radial symmetry is found. Next, question number 57. Which of the following animal possesses high regeneration capacity? Option A, Planaria. Option B, Taenia. Option C, Salpa. Option D, Ascidia. Here the correct answer is Planaria. So Planaria has remarkable power of regeneration. If an individual is cut transversely into two parts, the anterior fragment will regenerate a new tail and a posterior piece will develop a new head. Okay. Next, question number 58. Velizer larva occurs in phylum option A, Mollusca, option B, Echinodermata, option C, Arthropoda, option D, Cnidaria. So here the correct answer is option A, Mollusca. Velizer larva mainly found in marine snails and bivalves and a few freshwater bivalves. The velizer developed from the Trochophora larva has large ciliated lobes. The mollusk begins to develop a foot and a cell during the veliger stage. Next, question number 59. Blind sac body plan is shown by option A, roundworms, option B, annelids, option C, coelenterates, option D, Arthropoda. Blind sac body plan is characterized with a digestive cavity which has a single aperture which function as mouth and anus. The cells are specialized and they have division of liver, digestion in both intracellular and extracellular. Coelenterates are the diploblastic animal and possess a blind sac body plan. The body has a single aperture which functions as mouth and anus. The opening is guarded by tentacles which helps to catch the prey. The digestion takes place in the gastrovascular cavity. So the correct answer is cylinderates. Okay. Next, question number 60. Tube within a tube. Body plan is shown by cylinderate. Option B, platyhelminthes. Option C, nemahelminthes. Option D, porifera. So tube within a tube plant cells for two openings, one for food to enter the body through mouth and one for food to enter the body through anus. Nemahelminthes have a false body cavity. They possess digestive canal with two openings. Okay, so correct answer is option C. Animals living in open sea area. Option A, nekton. Option B, benthos. Option C, plankton. Option D, pelagic. So the correct answer is option D, pelagic. Next, question number 62. Where does the nephridia empty their waste? Option A, intestine. Option B, pharynx. Option C, out of the body wall. Option D, all of the above. So, excretion in earthworm is performed by long, thin and coiled tubules known as nephridia. The septal nephridia are located on both sides of the septa, thread-like structures that hold the skin to organs below in a row of 40 or 50 individual nephridia. They appear after the 15th segment and they empty into a pair of excretory ducts that lead to the main gut cavity. Pharyngeal nephridia discharge a waste product directly into the buccal cavity and pharynx. Hence, the correct answer is option D, all of the above. Next, question number 63. Agranulocytes are option A, lymphocytes and monocytes. Option B, eosinophils and basophils. Option C, lymphocytes and eosinophils. Option D, basophils and monocytes. So, agranulocytes formed in the spleen and lymph nodes are non-granular white blood cells that contain non-lobulated nuclei. This forms about 35% of total leukocytes. These are of two types, that is monocytes and lymphocytes. So, the correct answer is option A. Next, histamine, serotonin and heparin are secreted by option A, lymphocytes. Option B, monocytes. Option C, basophils. Option D, neutrophils. So, the correct answer is option C, basophils. Basophils, one of the type of granulocytes, secrete histamine, serotonin and heparin and are involved in inflammatory reactions. They are probably like mast cell of connective tissue. Okay. Next, question number 65. In thyroid follicle, which type of epithelial tissue is present? Option A, squamous. Option B, cuboidal. Option C, transitional. Option D, columnar. So, correct answer is option B, cuboidal. The simple cuboidal epithelium is composed of one layer of cuboidal shaped cell resting on basement membrane. The nuclei are situated centrally, for example, in thyroid follicles, pancreatic duct, ovaries, etc. Next, question number 66. Peritrophic membrane is secreted in which part of cockroach? Option A, mesenteric. Option B, brood pouch. Option C, tracheal tube. Option D, salivary gland. So, peritrophic membrane is secreted by mesenteric and serves to protect the wall of midgut from abrasion due to friction of food particle. So, the correct answer is option A. Next, question number 67. Select the correct option with respect to mitosis. Option A, chromatid starts moving towards opposite pole in telophase. Option B, Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum are still visible at the end of prophase. Option C, chromosomes move to the spindle equator and get aligned along equatorial plate in metaphase. Option D, chromatids separate but remain in the center of the cell in anaphase. So correct answer is option C. In metaphase of mitosis, spindle fibers attach to the kinetochore of chromosome. Chromosomes are moved to the spindle equator and get aligned along metaphasic plate through spindle fiber to both plates. Next, question number 68. Cytoskeleton is made up of option A, calcium phosphate granule, option B, callose deposit, option C, cellulosic microfibrils, option D, proteinaceous filament. So the cytoplasm of all eukaryotic cell is crisscrossed by a network of protein fibers that support the shape of the cell and anchor organelles to fixed location. It is a dynamic system with three types of fiber, that is actin filament, microtubule and intermediate filament. So the correct answer is proteinaceous filament. Cytoskeleton is made up of proteinaceous filament. Okay. Next, question number 69. High amount of Escherichia coli in water indicates option A, hardness of water, option B, industrial pollution, option C, sewage pollution, option D, pollution due to electromagnetic radiation. So high amount of E. coli in water indicates sewage pollution. E. coli bacteria are good indicator organisms of fecal contamination because they generally live longer than pathogens, are found in greater number and are less risky to collect or culture in a laboratory than pathogen. Next, question number 70. Foul smell in the water bodies of tanks, ponds, etc. is due to option A, aerobiosis, option B, anaerobiosis, option C, samophytes, option D, biological magnifications. So eutrophication is a natural state in many lakes and ponds which have a rich supply of nutrients. This leads to decomposition of nutrients through the bacteria and by the process of anaerobic respiration. This causes foul smell in water bodies. So the correct answer is option B, anaerobiosis. Okay. So ये थे आपके 70 क्वेश्चंस एंड नेक्स्ट हम लोग ऐसे भी और सेट्स अपलोड करेंगे. सो डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल and press the bell icon for more updates. Thank you.